I'm a 27-year-old guy, and for months, my girlfriend, 26, and I had been planning what we thought would be the perfect vacation. It wasn't just any trip. It was meant to be our escape from the non-stop hustle of work and life. Both of us had been drowning in work, responsibilities, late nights, early mornings, and weekends that blurred into weekdays. We hadn't had any real time together, except for the occasional exhausted dinner after a long day. This vacation was supposed to be our chance to step away from all of that and truly enjoy each other's company in a peaceful, relaxed setting. No distractions, no work, just us. I worked hard to make it special. I even took on extra shifts to make sure we could afford everything: flights, a nice hotel, activities she would love, and some fancy dinners. I wanted her to feel pampered. Wanted everything to be perfect. I imagined romantic walks on the beach, quiet dinners, and late-night talks. The kind you only get when you finally get a break from the outside world. We both needed it. And I was counting down the days until we could leave everything behind. Then, just a few days ago, everything shifted. We were sitting together on the couch, casually talking about the trip, when she dropped the bombshell. She casually mentioned that she had invited one of her work friends to join us. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah is 25, and while she's a nice person, I don't know her that well. In fact, I think we've only hung out a few times, and we didn't really have much in common. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It hit me like a ton of bricks, because we had never, not once, talked about bringing someone else along on this trip. In my mind, this was always going to be a trip just for us, something intimate and special. And suddenly, there was this third person in the picture. I was quiet for a moment, trying to process what she had just said. After a beat, I asked her why she invited Sarah. Without telling me, she explained that Sarah had been going through some tough times with her family and needed a break. Apparently, things at home had been really hard on her, and my girlfriend wanted to be there for her by inviting her along for the trip. I understood that. I genuinely did. I've been in rough spots before and know how important it can be to have friends who care. But this trip wasn't just any weekend getaway. It was supposed to be our vacation. Something we both needed, something we both had looked forward to. I tried to explain that having Sarah along would change the entire dynamic of the vacation. It wasn't that I didn't like Sarah, but this was supposed to be a romantic escape. Just the two of us. Adding a third person, especially someone I barely knew, would make it feel less like a getaway and more like a group hangout. I wouldn't be able to relax the same way or feel comfortable sharing intimate moments with my girlfriend. I'd be more worried about making sure Sarah was having a good time. In short, it would no longer be the vacation we had been planning for months. When I brought this up to my girlfriend, she immediately got defensive. She said I was being selfish and that I wasn't considering Sarah's situation. She kept insisting that it wasn't a big deal to have her friend along, and that it shouldn't affect our plans that much. But I disagreed. It would change everything. We had planned romantic dinners, quiet walks, and beach time together. Now, we'd have to adjust all of that to accommodate Sarah, and it wouldn't feel like the couple's trip we had envisioned. Things escalated from there. She started accusing me of not caring about her friends or being supportive. Then she brought up the fact that I've gone on trips with my friends without consulting her first. But I felt that was a completely different situation. When I went on trips with my buddies, they weren't supposed to be romantic getaways with her. Those were planned as guys' trips. Not vacations where she expected it to be. Just the two of us. To me, it felt like she was comparing apples to oranges. At that point, I was frustrated and, honestly, a little hurt. So I suggested we cancel the trip altogether. I told her that if we weren't going to have the vacation we had planned, it didn't make sense to go. I even tried to compromise by saying that instead of going on the trip, we could stay home and help Sarah deal with her family situation. That way, we wouldn't have to adjust everything and still be there for her friend. But my girlfriend didn't take that well either. She accused me of trying to avoid the issue and said I was being unreasonable. I'm trying to be understanding, really. But I also feel like my feelings aren't being considered. This was supposed to be our time. Something we both needed and looked forward to. But now I feel like I'm the one being unreasonable for wanting that. It's not that I don't care about Sarah or what she's going through. But I just don't understand why my girlfriend didn't talk to me about this first. We're supposed to be a team, right? Shouldn't we make decisions like this together? Now, I'm stuck in this awkward position where I feel like no matter what I do, I'm going to end up looking like the bad guy. If I go on the trip, I'll feel uncomfortable and like a third wheel. If I cancel, I'll be the selfish boyfriend who wouldn't make a small sacrifice for her friend. And the worst part is, I feel like this has become a bigger issue than just the trip itself. It's about communication, expectations, and how we handle situations as a couple. I love my girlfriend, but I'm genuinely starting to wonder if I'm in the wrong here. Should I have just gone along with it? Am I being too rigid for wanting to stick to the original plan?